Is it that time? See, this is what happens. This is why I take a hot shower. Hi, Sandy. Hello, you're most nice smitten with my kitten. I'm so smitten with my kitten. Want to come see Ma?
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
Stanley.
Oh, I thought you meant to see
You haven't walked in a little bit. Watch your step. Check this out. Ah, sun. Oh, that's pretty. See, Stanley?
Oh, he's asleep.
He spends the first part of the morning in the bathroom, sitting on the rug, doing his morning meditations. And then he comes in here and thinks about what he meditated on. Does his little morning prayers and stuff. Asks the questions, puts it out to the universe, and then he receives the answers in his morning meditations.
Oh.
Smart cat, huh?
Yes, he is.
Let's start yammering. I still haven't decided if I'm going to go into town yet. Augustine called already and said he was heading into the park. And he's pedestrian.
The park and the...
He walks.
Oh,
And I was out there this morning at like, I don't know, it was probably 2:30 this morning.
that's early.
Yeah. I almost see it feels like it's warmer during that time, and then like when the sun comes up, we're getting the final blast of, it's like the sun, the heat is pushing out the final blast of cold, so it actually drops the temperature right before the sun comes up. Energy, man. Energy. All right. I just took a real nice hot shower. I feel good. I didn't sleep good last night, and I'm not going to let it wreck my day. And if I do, I'll just have to start it over again. There you go, Bubba Tuck. There you go, Bubba Tuck. Come on, Bubba Tuck. Good boy, old man. Good boy, old man. He said, Mom, I'm doing it, Mom. I'm making it just right, Mom. I'm doing it. This is my turn, Mom, in the sunbed, Mom. Like that, pretty boy? So, I think it's funny how I'm going to talk about energy connections. I've been thinking a lot about this as more and more people are starting to talk about energy. I've been talking about my brother makes fun of me. He's Virgo. He's a lawyer. You always talk about that energy and frequency stuff ever since you were a little kid. And I'm like, well, I guess that verifies what, must be, He's like, and you always followed your heart too, You don't do the smart thing, Margie. Yes, Virgo. Yes, unbalanced Virgo. Tell me all of the perfections. And my placements tell me that whenever people are telling me about me, they're seeing the things in me that they don't like about themselves. So keep telling me. I can take it. I can take it. I can take it. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hale empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I feel pretty good. I might have already said that. Who knows? I'm a little caffeinated. I'm a little overstimulated. But the hot shower helped too to keep it even keel. I don't like being way up here. I don't like the highs being all high. I like just keeping nice and even. Because see, when you're up here all the time and then life comes along and hits you, it knocks you up from up here, and then you go down there, and it's a farther fall. So if I'm keeping it balanced and never get too excited, it makes it easier for me to handle situations when they come up in life. So I was thinking about some neat synchronicities lately. Kev, man, you said that you had I can't remember who, but you said your family name was Kelly, just like Mom's adopted parents were Kelly. Mom, you guys were Kelly like EY, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And But it's that, and you're in Massachusetts. What city? And if you look up the latitude and longitude, see if it's in plus or minus 2 within Omaha, which is congruent in alignment with Reading. Because I have a belief system that people find people that they're attracted to by places too, you know. And like it's like you like we've probably been to like the same places before, you know what I mean? Because I've been to places where a lot of people have been, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So when you go to a high common denominator location, you know, mm-hmm. That's like it's all these people that are drawn to that place for different reasons. Usually I'm drawn to a place out of curiosity, or mostly God's will. We've always been assigned places, huh, Ma? We always end up places that I don't have places. Like, I planned one place to move, and that was to Oregon. And that's what the thumbnail is today. Because people, there's such a big focus on infrastructure right now. Because, see, what they did is these guys with these colossal egos easing God out. And I understand God to be good orderly direction. You know, just don't be a pig. That's it. That's pretty much it. Don't be a pervy pig. It's pretty much, I mean, that's like all you gotta do in life. And then, you know, look how many people just can't not do that. I just saw right before I started my talk that got a notification that Church of Scientology leader David Miscavige served 27 times with human trafficking lawsuit. See, that's the thing, is you got these people, because I don't want to say men, because it's women too, as we know, because of that scumbag lady. You know, they got the male energy, the dominance, control, all that negative stuff, you know, all that, all that stuff, you know. They don't got the, you know, the loving, nurturing spirit. They like to take that. They like to take the essence from people, and then that makes their cancer grow, their whole industry. And so you got these personalities that just like to dominate and control, but they can't do it even keel with just the power of their being. They got to be little bitches, and they got to cheat, and they drug people, and then they do all this stuff like that Masterson guy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I was raped when I was 10 months old. I know about the evilness of what people are. You know, I've known about it my whole life. Everybody else is coming up to speed now. See, because I've been telling people, because I read the police report when I was junior, I've been, I've been telling people, you know, these are, he don't feel good, he don't feel good, he don't feel good, that guy needs to be looked at, you know, and these are people that are doing stuff like, I mean, it's obvious to me. I mean, what does it hurt? But police don't want to police no more. I mean, they're just out, I live in New Mexico, they're just out there freaking, it's just like, it's the old West, it's already lawless here. You can't call the police for crimes in New Mexico. And if somebody does go to jail, they're out immediately. It's the most absurd thing. Because so many collective people had just not wanted to do anything, that this is what we get. A whole world of glaze of lays. So feel good. Things that feel good. I'm going to continue on that trajectory. So the truths that are coming out, you know, the truths are coming out. And the thing of it is people know who the people that are doing it. They just benefit in some capacity, probably some selfish gain from knowing the person. You know, it's all because people can be bought. It's just hush money. Oh, well, they buy me stuff, so I'm never going to tell on them. Just, you know. Everything is so wonky and weird. People keep talking about, you know, Chinese buying up the land in America. You know, they're buying up all this land at farming. They're buying up all this stuff. Well, why don't you talk to the Americans that are selling the land to the Chinese? They're just selling out to the highest bidder. It's just always about business, right? It's never about people. It's always about business. I always wonder what the earth could be if people were valued over money. And money isn't even real. And the soul transitions through incarnation, as a data imprint of life experience. And what you sow, you reap. And a lot of freaking creeps are going to reap. Coming up, homies. Coming up. I've been patient, man. I've been patient my whole life. And I might not see the level of exposure to the grossness of what this planet has become. I might not see the exposure that I'd like to see. The justice that I'd like to see in this incarnation. Rest assured, I believe that as soon as I take my last breath, that tunes me into the frequency of every truth I've ever wanted to know. And it will be verified. So I can trust and believe in that. I can trust and believe in that. Yep. Anyway, I got too many layers on because I was like, oh, Augustine, here's a synchronicity, another one besides Kevman in that alignment, is that when this song always makes me lose my train of thought. It's such an obnoxious song. Another frequency I was listening to yesterday, I was listening to Ace of Base, A Good Life, or It's a Beautiful Life. It's a Beautiful Life. And Mom was watching, what were you watching? It was an episode of Eli Stone. And they really wrecked San Francisco, man. That used to be, because that's like the last show that I've seen where and then after that it was just they sold to the highest bidder, they paid the most expensive contractors, and it's just all crap. I don't like the vision that they got for those places. I just carry in my heart what these places were when I was there, and it all has more to do about how I feel when I'm in a place than it is, well, I guess it's more of a congruence. So Mom was watching an episode of that, and somebody was talking about what an ugly life it is, as I'm hearing It's a Beautiful Life in my ear. I'm like, that's a pretty wonky synchronicity. I did make some notes. I started to talk about something. I do this a lot. I'll start to talk about something, and then I'll go off on a tangent. Usually I can swing it back pretty good. Oftentimes I forget. My friend Carl reminded me of that. I started talking about my low blood sugar. I've always had low blood sugar, and I think that's because I disassociated at such a young age, and I had so many near-death experiences. It was like I disassociated so many times that I could just learn to not, and I could stay in my body and handle situations as they come up. And when you're a kid, God gives us gifts, of resilience, of being able to bounce back from things, right? To just be a spectator, like, oh my God, this happens. You kind of get freaked out, you get scared, and then as time goes by, you think about it, every now and again, less and less, until the next scary thing happens. And that's how my life has always been. Scary. Yeah, scary. So, I've lived through every scary day, so I'm here to help people get their scary days and let them know that, through all the craziest crap in the world, you can still find humor, man. You can still find the bright side of life, and more and more people are having their experiences. A gal I went to high school with, she was taking her dog to a dog park, and I don't like off-leash dog parks myself. I mean, unless I go, I used to take all four of mine to a place on Sundays that the dog rescue got dibs because it was closed on Sundays. So they let the Basset Beagle Rescue of the Heartland, if you're fostering and got dogs from them, you could bring them up to their big old huge field and run all their yah-yahs out on Sunday. And and they would just for like an hour just with other dogs and stuff like that. But all these other dogs, they had their shots and stuff. They had, they're all socialized dogs. And this woman, her dog got freaking attacked by a pit bull, and it freaking latched on, and it's I tell stories in my video about the times that I got mauled with my dog and when I was in Arizona. Woman yelled at me for her dog biting me in the leg twice and shaking me around. It don't take much, man. Animals are way more powerful than people, man. It don't take much to tear flesh. It do not take much. Anyway, thank God, but she was telling this story, right? And she was very descriptive. And she was telling the story about how she was like doing everything. Like, you see a dog, you think like you don't even have this in you. She was like, I was gouging in its eyes. She's like, I was sticking my arm in its, like she was doing, I was pulling on its legs. I was doing all the things that they tell you to do in this situation. And isn't it funny how when the situation comes up, all the stuff they tell you to do never works? It rarely does. But they get paid a lot to go around and tell people what they ought to do, right? But every situation in life, man, you don't know how to handle things unless they come up. That's what I learned, till it's in my face. Come on, Benny. Come on. So she freaking, and then an older woman came up and freaking helped her and got the dog off. And then, like, it was posted on Neighbor. She's gonna get that. She's in law enforcement. I mean, the dog's probably already put down because evidently it's the second time that this dog has done it, which is unfortunate because she's probably so angry at the person, that's and that's the thing is the woman put on she's like, hey, have you seen my dog? It's good with people but not with other dogs. So she knows, so she keeps it away from other dogs, and then the dog got out, and so now the dog's probably been disposed. And that it's because once they get a taste, and people are the same way, once they get a taste of power, once they get thirsty for whatever it is that motivates them to do whatever the things they are that they do, you got to be careful about what people go after to quench their thirst, I'm finding. Service quenches my thirst. Talking to those folks that freaking you see them and they haven't had a shower in days, weeks. It's cold out there. It's so fucking cold out there. Something I do, I need to go re-up, as a matter of fact. Maybe that'll give me a reason to go into town today so I don't have to go in the weekend. I'm not a fan of tourists. And I live in Taos, New Mexico. There's tourists everywhere. They care more about the people that come in and temporarily spend money than the people that live here. And it's evident by how they, I took notes the other day. Town council decision to finance committee because that's too bright. I sign up for all the lists, so I get all the notifications, all the local I read them all. I got nothing. I hang between making mom breakfast and hanging out with mom and making sure she's comfortable. I don't got a lot to do, keep up on tabs on things. So town council's decision to finance committee recommendation to commence the town of Taos investment portfolio in the amount of $3 million with Morton Capital Markets, LLC, in self-directed amount to be managed by town administrative officials. Well, I'm here to say I don't have faith in any of your abilities. That's money laundering as far as I'm concerned. So I should spend more time looking into Morton Capital and seeing if anybody on the town board is related to any of the employees, that might get a bonus for getting such a big client. Cities shouldn't be clients. That stuff should be going to shower stations. Shower stations. For the unhoused, for the traveler, for the homeless, call them where they at forever. What they should be going into technology to employ people that I see every day that are out there picking up garbage. You start your car, boop, push a button. I'm at this latitude and longitude because even if you don't got cell service, you still got GPS. Because they always tracking. I'm out here, I'm starting to pick up garbage. Hit a button. Here's my employee number, my tax ID. I spend 2 hours out here picking up garbage. What does the highest employee make by the hour in government? Pay the guy picking up garbage the same as you pay the guy that freaking throws the garbage out the window. Pay them all the same, right? So, boom, I'm out there 2 hours. I in my coordinates. I take a before picture and an after picture. This is what I did. Boom, 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 done. Money into your account. Whatever. Everything's going digital anyway. Why don't we make it easier for everybody? Why we gotta make it just easier for the people that already don't really got it too hard? So, my low blood pressure. I made notes because I could, My low blood pressure. Carl, if you're listening, if you hear this, I think that is the reason why I'm alive today. It's because I learned how to manage my vibrational frequency from a young age. I used to hyperventilate, so I had to learn how to breathe. I get myself so worked up that my mind and my body would become out of alignment. And then something would have to snap me back into freaking that alignment. Something. Mama would never smack me in the face or anything like that. You know what works when you got a kid like me, and they're like they throw tantrums and they freaking lash out, and it's just like, bah! We're little firecrackers. Get a freaking cold washcloth. Get a washcloth. Now when they hated dealing with me at bath time, so I got held under the water up my nose. It wasn't a pleasant experience. That's why, and then they wonder why I didn't like taking a bath, right? That's why I'm so adamant about making every experience as comfortable as possible, because I've been through so many uncomfortable experiences. You got a kid melting down, freaking cold water, put it on the back of their neck. And just start talking about all the stuff that they like. Just distract them. Just distract them. Freaky, you got the why kid? I was a why kid. Why is it like this? Why is it like that? How come? And adults used to get so mad at me because I would always ask questions and they couldn't answer them. They weren't even creative enough to make up answers. So I just always come up with my own, right? The why of any situation. So, what I do when I every now and again in life, I'll come across another why kid, and I see me in that kid. And what I like to do when they get stuck in the whys, you know? What I'll do is I'll reverse it on them. I'll turn around and I'll just start whying them. It has never taken more than 15 seconds of me doing that before they're like become disinterested. And then just leave. It works every single time. Try it. Verify what I already know to be true with my years of discovery. So, because of my low blood sugar, because they gave me 8 anthrax vaccines. Have a blessed day, Kev, man. Peace. Hope it worked out with Verizon. All that shit should be free anyway, man. Hell, they use our energy to power it. They might as well freaking let us utilize it. But that would bring down their third quarter profit earnings and wouldn't support all the bullshit that they endorse. So they gave me 8 anthrax vaccines when I was in the Air Force back in I can't ever get too upset about everything, because that's when your blood pressure raises, and I've always had really low blood pressure, and it hasn't been till the last couple years that when I go in to get my blood pressure that it's over 100. Diagnostic or I can't ever remember those. I used to know them because I went to like an adult like work on the job training program for EKG. So I think that is a testament as to why and I still stay physical active. See, because people don't. A lot of this is really, really quite simple. People just don't understand or care about how the body works. Your heart is a muscle. It needs to work out. In order for your heart to work out, it has to be exerted. Look at the percentage of the population on the planet. They don't exert themselves. They pay people money to exert themselves. And now so many people have gotten unemployment for the last couple years. They just kept getting money. They forgot how to work. They forgot that, being a member of this planetary cosmic alien ant farm, whatever you want to call it, you got to put things in to get things out. Protons, neutrons, work, rest. Cooperation is nature's way. And we got a lot of people that just don't do anything. And so the infrastructure is dissolving. I had 3, I can't get into stuff related to an old email account anymore because technology is just so many bugs. I mean, if you get your stuff to work, yay you, and if you don't, it's not supposed to be for you. So there's a lot of stuff that's not supposed to be for me. So this old account, is tied to a lot of stuff, so I can't get into like my old Instacrap accounts. I had like 3 of them, I think. There's Third I activated. There's Snapnacks. And I can't remember what the other one was. But I have a album. Let's see if I can find it. Favorites. Albums. Recent. See, I've been reporting on this stuff for a lot of years. I just ain't something that people look at and say, hey, I want to listen to what she has to say. That ain't me. That's all right, because it doesn't even have anything to do with my soul sack. It always has, what the messenger has to say. It has nothing to, that's why I get annoyed when people freaking give a crap about their microphones and their freaking high-powered digital. It's like, dude, that's all accessories. What are you going to do if that stuff didn't exist? If they stop making it, then you're going to, you might as well go without it now. Because people don't even... There's no longevity. They're like... Around here, there's like a 15-minute window. Kids, they go outside and play 15 minutes. And then they're back to video games or whatever it is they're doing. Not learning any of the life lessons that can be learned in the outside. I'm looking at these old pictures. There's this place, when I lived in Omaha, I'll just tell this story about it, and then while I'm looking for the picture. When I lived in Omaha, there's my father figure that I picked for myself, Mr. Risky. He lives down in the Platte, and he's got a farm. He's like 3rd generation. His farm's been there like since the 1900s. They got the original deed and all that jack stuff. His family's always been there, and there's this bridge, and the bridge is just like an overpass, right? And it goes over the train tracks, okay? Now, where the train tracks are, there was concrete, and then there was the ground underneath it had eroded, and then the slabs of concrete fell in. And it was like that for years. I can't remember. I was trying to remember last night if I had recall the conversation with him where how long it took for them to fill it in from the time, because what happened was nobody wanted to do anything with it. Now, the highway was 75, Highway 75. And you look up Highway 75 south of Bellevue, you got a whole lot of people that are going to work at Stratcom, off at Air Force Base. That's where I was stationed. So you got all these people that don't you know who they are? that are flying that are driving over a bridge that has the potential to collapse at any moment because the infrastructure is not sound. And the trouble is this county, the city, the whoever said, hey, Union Pacific, it's right. It's the vibration from your trains. That's what's causing. You need to fix this problem. You need to fix this problem. You need to pay and have this problem fixed. And then the train said, no, you built the bridge. You built a bridge that's not sound, that's dissolving. And they say, you know what, and then they call each other and say, hey, did you fix the bridge yet? Here it is. This is it underneath. I took this on April 10th, 2016. So you got all the people that go in it, and it's not just off it, it's all the people that are going to work in Omaha. So you got thousands of people that drive over this every day. And you got the train track. And the train people said, city people got it, or state people got to fix it. And they said, no, you got to fix it. And it didn't get fixed for years and years. And people didn't even know. They didn't even know what they were driving over. I'm like, dude. And the whole world is like that. There's stuff like that all over the world. See, these guys, they paid themselves to do jobs, and they never fucking did the jobs. They fucking took their big trucks, and they found a really big shade tree, and they took a lot of fucking naps. That's what they did. And they kept paying themselves more and saying, oh man, we work so hard. We need more money for this equipment. We need more for that. And they did see, it's a lot of people that did us dirty. And the truth's coming out. So I'm going to talk, because I'm going long. I got to make some eggs and then decide if I'm going to go into town or not. Things that feel good. Ever since I was a little girl, things had to feel good, And if you were, little autistic kids like me, and I always, for years now, I stopped matching my socks years ago. I came to the realization that my feet like different textures. They don't like, and my feet are moody, and they're not always in the same mood. So they don't like wearing the same, thickness, And so I stopped matching my socks, and sometimes I wear them inside out, because sometimes the outside is softer than the inside. Because a lot of these socks, these cute little socks, these cutesy little socks that people have. Let's see, is this an example of one? Here's one. These are my buzz off socks, my bee socks, right? I would, people want to show the people their cute little picture. I don't give a fuck. It's about how things feel to me. So I wear these inside out, because I don't like how that feels. Everything's about feeling. People do things because, oh, that feels good. Oh, that doesn't. They watch YouTube videos because, oh, what they say is, if that feels good. Oh, look at, and then you have the people that love the cringe. I don't like the cringe, man. I used to watch TV shows when I was a little girl, like Urkel and stuff like that, and I get so uncomfortable because he'd do something stupid and he'd be about to be caught, and I get so uncomfortable. I will just God, somebody just the impending doom is just somebody turn the channel. I can't take it. Oh my God. So I hope people that have whatever your course of life is, if you've put a lot of shit into your freaking body that ain't natural, I hope you freaking compensate with that by doing things that are good for your body. Because I think that's why I'm still here, is because I've maintained a level of fitness. And it's kind of funny because I had a PE teacher, Miss Menifee, and she'd be real disappointed right now how many people did. And I failed PE. And I still carried this stuff with me. The importance of it. Because I see the importance of it. Because I watch the people that I'm around. I see the people that I want to be alike. And most people I don't want to be like. So I do the things that people do that I want to be like. And that's taking care of my soul sack. I want to be identified as someone that gives enough about myself that I'm going to take the time out every day, and that hopefully I'll never be too busy to take care of myself. So busy taking care of others, that's an imbalance. Hope that doesn't ever change. The things that people do feel good. The whole world's chasing sensations. Junkies everywhere, man. Addicts, drunks, just all economic backgrounds, girls, boys, it don't matter. All kinds of people are just trying to escape, and instead of trying to find ways of say, you know what, that's happened. Let's chalk it up to experience. Let's move on. It freaking hurts. It sucks. But we got to stop making environments where this stuff is continually happening. We got to shift the narrative. Whatever that looks like. So, notes from low blood pressure. So I think, and also with everybody that's gotten all this stuff, you got to keep your blood pumping. That's what I started talking about earlier is with the heart. You got to exercise your you got to get your heart to pump. It was recommended. I ran on a cross trainer on level 10 for an hour at 5 o'clock in the morning at Offutt Air Force Base, 5 days a week for 7 months. Because they said, your body isn't right and you need to make your body into the standard in which we designate. And a bunch of really fat dudes said that to me. And I showed them. I show people. I do the work. That's the thing is like people used to always make fun of me for stuff. They always the butt of a lot of jokes. I think about it now like those people I went to high school, they just had like our 30-year reunion. I was like, God damn, one guy is fit. Everybody else got fat. Every fucking one of them. Every single, it's like, but you care so much about life and you're such a light bringer, I'm so sad in real life in a corner in the shower. I know what it's like. I used to be that person. I was a little kid that I'd freaking scrounge up change and money, take it out of mom's purse, stuff like that. I'd go down to the canned food store on Bocelli Lane when I lived in Ready, and I'd buy a bag of freaking little Reese's peanut butter cups, and I'd climb the tree and I'd sit on the roof and I'd eat them, and then I'd stash and hide the evidence and all that. Totally ate my feelings because I felt so bad about my life and the situation that was around me that I didn't have any control. But what I did have control of is what I could put in my mouth, and if it made me feel good, yeah. Things changed. I hope things change for other people too. So we're going to see a lot more people that want you to co-sign their crap because people want you. See, that's why so many people keep secrets and tell secrets because they don't want the real world to know how they actually are. But they want to continue to be the scumbag and the D-bag. They just want everyone around them to co-sign their crap, and I won't co-sign their crap. People don't co-sign mine. Good. I'm glad. I'm pretty good at keeping myself accountable. Oh, Ahmad, yeah, I did. I get a new tie. This is from my sister Jessica. That was her nickname, 6. So got your 6. I got that for her about 2 days. I think it was the 25th of September. She died the 23rd. I got it on Monday. So it was like boom, boom. Anyway. What else? I think I should wrap it up too. When we were treated. See, I got the full spectrum experience of life from a very young age because we were so poor living with mom, but then dad. We go see dad, and then grandma was a real estate agent. We go out to dinner, we go to movies, we go to the melodrama in Santa Maria. We got the taste of you work hard, you get to do fun things, So I learned, And then they always say, well, your mom doesn't work. See, she doesn't work. Dude, being a single mother in the 70s against people that had the system in their pocket, she had the whole system stacked against her, and for whatever reason, God still found it fit for us to end up with her. And that, I mean, we always believe in God, huh, Ma?
Yes.
Do the right thing and the right things will happen for you.
Right.
Yeah? She's been tried and true. She's been the most faithful person I've ever known in my whole entire life. 5 planets in Sagittarius. Yeah. So feels good. Grandpa, I watched Grandpa, you know, and there's everything has an energy field. Cups, water. I was thinking about that. Like, I won't leave. We drink a lot of water here. And one of the things I do is that Mom, if she doesn't finish her cup, she doesn't finish her water the night before, if there's anything in it the night before, I go start her off with the new fresh cup of water that I get at the water house, reverse osmosis, no fluoride, whatever. I don't think there's fluoride. I don't know. But there's lead pipes that they go through, and that I can taste. So anyway, so we drank that, and then because vibrations are influences, you know, frequencies, they travel through our power lines, you know, a bad mood, you know. And I don't want some low vibing energy ending up into Mom's water, you know. And she drinks it, sour her mood, so we start off fresh. I say a prayer, set a positive intention for this water to nourish her soul sac, keep her hydrated. She doesn't shrivel up like a little grape. I need to get her a humidifier. It's that part of the season. It's that time. We went through this last year, and so it's like, okay, now I got to do it. She's got to get it because it's so super cold outside, and then the sun comes up, and then it warms up enough. So it's the temperature variances. I'm having a hard time keeping her skin not from drying out. So I got to get, or you know what I'll do? When I get home, I'll just get a teapot, fill that with water, put it on the stove, and set it on low.
That's a good idea.
So it just puts moisture. It's the same thing. Duh. Marge. You think you're so smart. I did some days, man. It's so, and this is another funny, here's another frequency thing. When I lived in Oregon, I had one friend, Pam. She still works probably at the laundromat. And that laundromat was the cool. Now, we grew up and we had to carry our laundry a lot. Oftentimes, Mom would like wash our clothes in the shower or the bath or whatever, you know. And so laundry, you know, and it's all about feeling. So when people are not changing their clothes and they're not showering and something bad happens, they're literally sitting in their shit energy. So you got to do things to shift that, right? And I hate taking showers in the morning. I always have. I think, I know where it stems from. It stems from when I had to go to swim class, and they're like, jump in. I'm like, dude, it's freaking 7 a.m. You know, like, I'm not even awake. Because my experience, I disassociate so much. I didn't land good. That's why I call waking up. Like, my spirit is spirit. It goes out. It has its other experiences in higher dimensions. And then when I freaking wake up, take my breath in, reanimate, it's 17 degrees right now. So, and with my, you know, the childhood trauma, I was like I would want to sleep with people because I didn't want to be, the monsters and scary people, baby rapers and all that shit. And so I want sleep with mom, but they hated it because I kicked my legs. I would thrash. If somebody would touch me in the night, it was my body. See, and these are all questions that were answered as to why I did the things that I did. When I read that police report, I'm like, oh, that's why my hip pops. Unfortunately, as I get older, that pain is more prevalent. And I dance. And then being in the cold, it's like this is another thing that I noticed this time last year. I hate February. You know, it's just like hang on till the 40-degree days. Just hang on. I hate the winter because it makes everything hurt. Because of all the stuff that has happened. You know, all the wounds, all the falling out, it's all activated when the temperature drops. You know. So I got to work extra hard not to be a dick just because everything hurts, because the world don't care that everything hurts. If the world cared that everything hurt me, then a life would be provided for me that was so comfortable. I'd never hurt, but that's not how we grow. That's not how our spirit grows. That's how ego grows. Hey Gigi, welcome to my tiny tube. I saw that video that I made a comment on. I still dip in to Zach just to see where an imbalanced Cancer sits, because I got Cancer rising, and I know, and I can act just like him, and so I pay attention, especially with this rants, you know. That's, see, because from what I understand, it's like Cancer. I always see, because I don't know how things are. I do them how they feel to me, and Cancer has like always been more of a feminine energy, like Pisces, you know. Like, so when Pisces are men and they have more of that feminine energy, they're compensating. So you gotta swing that wiener. You gotta swing it. You gotta make the whole world know they got it. When so many women have one bigger in their dresser drawer. But you were telling me a story about that kid that was all, you know, had boner Bob or whatever. And I picture him as being the little boy when he's like 2 years old that they can't keep a diaper on because something was activated at him too early. So he saw something, he did something, and so he's been chasing his sensation ever since. And that's his flag, letting other sensation chasers know that if they're down to chase sensations, that he can offer orgasms. You gotta put up with the douchery in which he is, but he'll get you. I mean, that's why so many people are just not even dating, because there's just pickings are so slim in the world. They're just so slim, Ma. So slim. How you doing today, Ma? You're doing good? Mom sleeps so good. She comes out. I didn't sleep, and then like I'll start to fall asleep, and then she'll come out at 6:30, and it's like, okay, start your day. You thought you were. She's so cute. She sleeps so good. I said, Ma, you finally got your own room and a $3,000 bed, and only took you 72 years. Sorry, Ma. I'm a little tardy. Yeah. So I started to say something, and then I wanted to wrap it up. The frequency. Okay, yep, my wife's mom. Your wife's mom was a Kelly. Okay, that's cool. You're in Worcester, Mass. I'm going to look it up quick. My friend Carl's in Mass. We were talking about you the other day, Kev. Worcester, Mass. Like, what's this here sauce? Worcester, Massachusetts, lat and longitude. 42. You're in my plus or minus 2, because Omaha's 40 and Reading's 39, or vice versa, or something like that. So that's how you found me, is because we're close in frequency. I don't know if David's wife is still missing. I'd only dip into 3 world and then dip out. You just moved, see? And then what? And where were you from? See, and I know I saw Chelsea Handler and Joe Coy back when they did it Orlando. When I was all interjected into 3D world, Cape and House and. And I never been East Coast. I ain't never been East Coast. I've been in New York City. I did New York City. We saw curtains. That me and a woman I used to know. I vibed to a high five her for her. We saw curtains, and then the next day, David Hyde Pierce won a Tony for it. That was cool. Oh, bye, Gigi. Peace out. You know what? See, that's the thing. Is like I'd fix it for you, buddy. If you were closer, I'd fix it for you. I love stuff like that. Yeah, low simmer, natural humidifier. Hi, Jessica, if you're there. If not, I hope you have a rad day. Peace. My feet are starting to hurt, and I think, oh, that's what I was going to say is laundry and the significance of that. And like when I would go to my grandma's, she would do a load of laundry, and I would crawl into the dryer with the blankets and the towels, so it's the softness. It felt so good. That's what safety feels like to me, right? Being comfortable, being soft, being warm, being around things that smell good, right? And where else can you get that? And when you don't have it, you got to go to the laundromat. We didn't have running water because of the thumbnail in the picture. Those concrete blocks, more reasons why infrastructure is bullshit. It's all about the club and the game and the deal. You know, I know a guy who works up in Washington. He'll make those. You know, my cousin, he has a concrete place. Now, Salem, the city of Oregon, could have had those made right there in Salem. You think shipping is high in Amazon? I was taught, that's how I know all this stuff, because I talked to the truck driver that delivered them. It's all about deals and, you know, and there's no rules and laws and regulations. It's the boss. They get to decide, you know, who the bid goes to. And the higher, you know, it's gross. And if more people start looking into that, you'll see. You'll see more misappropriation of funds. You'll see why is the cousin of the city planner getting, you know, in Washington State getting the bid for this concrete job, and you're taking jobs out of people in the local community because it's just business. It's nothing personal. Everything is personal. Everything is personal, and people need to shift their thinking that everything is personal. These systems need to shift their changing from controlling and running things to helping people. It's got to change, or we're headed down a real slippery slope. So my friend, so I move here, and then I meet one guy, and he's an attendant. He works at the Fluff and Fold, you know, won a laundromat. And then my buddy, who I became friends with, has the same birthday as my sister Jessica, who died September 23rd, 2022. His birthday is same day as Jessica, so it's like kind of like hanging out with her, kind of feels like her. You know, same birthday, same day. And then years later, you know, things are different, but there's similarities. But he's in balance, and he's also been sober a number of years. And that's one of the reasons why Jessica met the maker, because she wasn't living that lifestyle. So she was living out of balance. So, and then he's the maintenance man. There's 2 laundromats in this town, and I knew employees that worked at both of them when I had one friend in Oregon that worked at the laundromat. It's just, and I didn't know, it's not like I went to the laundromats and then met them. It was me out in the world. I met them. Where do you work? At the laundromat. Of course you do. It's just, that's how funny life is. There's synchronicities everywhere, and I'm always happy to point them out. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. You want some eggs, Ma?
That sounds good.
Want some